AI is absolutely everywhere. But, as businesses are racing to adopt it, a really critical question comes up. Who's governing it? In this explainer, we're going to break down AI governance, what it is, and how it's the framework that turns all of AI's potential into a real advantage, not a huge liability.
And just so you know, all the insights we're covering today come straight from Chapter 1 of the tutorial on developing an AI governance program by Virtualization Options LLC.
It feels like every single organization is rushing to adopt artificial intelligence, and honestly, for good reason. It really does promise to revolutionize, well, pretty much everything. But with that incredible promise comes some pretty significant peril.
And that leads to the one question every single leader needs to be asking themselves right now. You're rolling out chatbots, you've got predictive analytics, you're using automated decision-making. That's all great. But what are the real consequences when one of these powerful systems gets it wrong?
Because these risks, they aren't just theoretical. We are talking about massive regulatory fines that can absolutely cripple a budget. We're talking about reputational damage that could take years, literally years, to repair. Or AI systems that end up producing biased, even discriminatory outcomes. And of course, brand new security holes that expose your most sensitive data. But maybe the worst of all, a fundamental loss of trust from your customers, your partners, and even your own employees.
So how in the world do you manage this kind of high-stakes environment? Well, the answer isn't to stop innovating, no way. The answer is to build a structured approach to manage these risks head-on. And that, right there, is where governance comes in.
So what exactly is AI governance? Well, think of it as the complete framework. It's the rules of the road, the oversight committees, the technical guardrails, the whole shebang that makes sure you're balancing that rapid innovation with responsible risk management. Now, I gotta be honest, this isn't always easy. You're probably going to face some hurdles. Some of your teams will see governance as just red tape that's slowing them down. You might be dealing with tight budgets or a real shortage of people with the right skills. And the technology itself, it's incredibly complex. To top it all off, the regulations are still being written as we speak. That's the reality of the challenge. But there is a clear path forward. What's really cool about this is how it maps out the journey. See, most organizations, they start out in that ad hoc, or let's be real, chaotic state. The goal is to move step by step towards that optimizing stage. That's where good governance isn't just a safety net. It's a genuine strategic advantage that lets you innovate faster and with more confidence than all your competitors.
So, how do you actually build this thing? Well, the entire structure of your governance program really rests on a set of core principles. You can think of these as the pillars that guide every single decision you make.
This illustrates it perfectly. These pillars are your foundation. They're core principles like accountability, fairness, and transparency. They're what ensures your AI systems aren't just effective, but they're also secure, they're reliable, and, this is crucial, they always have a human in the loop for those critical decisions.
Okay, so we've covered the risks and the principles, but now let's talk about the bottom line. Why is this a smart business investment and not just some compliance cost? Well, the numbers, they tell a pretty compelling story. First up, let's talk risk reduction. Organizations that have mature AI governance report a 40% decrease in AI-related incidents and security breaches. I mean, wow! That is a powerful testament to how having structure and oversight actually prevents things from going wrong. Next, let's look at the financial impact. The data shows that preventing just one major AI failure can save organizations 60% more than the entire annual cost of its governance program. Think about that for a second. The ROI isn't just positive, it's absolutely exponential. And finally, let's talk about the ultimate currency in business, trust. Companies that can really demonstrate responsible AI see a 50% average increase in stakeholder confidence. In today's market, that kind of trust isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a decisive competitive advantage.
Okay, so the data is super compelling, but a business case is only as good as your ability to actually sell it. So the big question is, how do you convince your leadership team to invest in this?
You have to speak their language. It's that simple. To your CFO, you talk about cost avoidance and predictable returns. To your CIO, it's all about enabling innovation and reducing technical debt. For your chief risk officer, this is a clear-cut case for managing liability. And for the CEO, you frame it as what it is, a strategic advantage that ensures the company's long-term sustainability and leadership in the market. So to wrap this all up, let's just land on this final thought from the source material. This is not a wait-and-see situation. The time to build your AI governance program is right now, before a crisis forces your hand, and definitely before you fall behind the competition. Thanks so much for tuning in.